Welcome back to another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies, aka
Wait, are we filming? Are we
yes,
taping?
yes.
Oh.
We're known as Dan and the Temptations.
Shit.
That's
Your name ain't David Ruffin.
Dan. See, without Ruffin,
You
y'all
no
ain't
David
nothing.
Ruffin. You ain't no David Ruffin.
My name is Dan. You can catch me on Twitter and IG at I am Dan on Drugs, and also follow the show across the board at Black Law Podcast, as well as on YouTube for full-length videos. Also, Facebook at Black Law Podcast.
Shit, we
And-
on YouTube?
Yes, and we can also, if you would like to support us by purchasing our t-shirts that say Black Law Podcast, you can find that on our website at blacklawpodcast.com/shop. We have numerous, and as in numerous, 2 t-shirts to choose from.
Numerous.
So if you want to wear some shit that says Black Law and Legal Lies on it, check it out.
What?
Who the fuck is y'all?
What?
I'm Afro Becky, another one of your hosts for today.
Just for today, though.
Mm-hmm.
No other time. Just for today.
Just for today.
And I'm just Ann, and you can follow me on Twitter at I Tell Legal Lies.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're revisiting a topic that in like episode 20 we said we were going to talk about. The 360 deal.
The art of the deal.
Is your name Donald Trump?
A little bit louder too, please.
The art of the deal.
So
no, I'm not Donald Trump. Nor will I ever look like, pretend
I don't
to be,
know.
or want to be.
You might be orange. Nobody ever seen you.
yeah.
So you might be orange. I don't know.
Yeah.
The world may never know.
They may.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the 360 deal. Now I'm going to tell you, this honestly, at least in the hip hop community, it has a negative connotation to it. Because in these deals, you are giving up a slice of everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything, all of your revenue streams, right? So back in the day when you would sign a record deal, now I'm not some kind of insider or anything. So, I mean, there's that. But I have looked into it. We have a copy of a 360 deal. And we're going to break down some of the language in it. But back in the day, if you were an artist, you were signed to a label. The label funded your album, basically. So if I'm coming out with a CD or record or tape or whatever, studios back in the day, in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, recording equipment wasn't as cheap and as available. The knowledge wasn't there either. So you had to go to like the Hit Factory or Baseline Studios or all these big name studios where they had like these SSL boards that cost like $300,000, and then they had these engineers that went to school for the shit. Nowadays, nobody goes to school for audio engineering, hardly. But there was a lot of money into the creation of an album. You were talking for a new act, you're probably looking at $300,000 or so. That's my estimate.
Just recording.
Just recording about $300,000, because you're also, especially with hip hop, you're clearing samples if there are any samples. You're paying these producers. You're paying the beat makers. There is a difference between a producer and a beat maker. You're paying the studio engineer. You're paying your record label. You're paying your A&Rs making money. Like everyone's making money. So it was very expensive. But nowadays, you can actually record in your dining room.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Recording in your dining room.
Yeah. And you can get studio quality results as long as you have a little know-how. So once that started happening, all right, so here's a scenario. Let's say we have a record label, right? Black Law and Legal Lies Records.
Man, we gonna be like Death Row.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
we be throwing people off of balconies and shit.
Once you in, you in. You ain't no getting
Mm-hmm.
out. So we're going to sign you to a 5-album deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means you have to give us five albums.
They don't have to be good, but you got to give them to
us 5. But they do have to be good.
I don't know.
Because if you're not selling, we're going to shelf you because no one, like your first album, let's say your first album sells 500,000, goes gold, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see if we can do 750 on the next release. Next release comes out, you sell 300,000. We got you for 5 albums.
Right.
You just performed worse on your sophomore album than your freshman album.
Right.
You going to the shelf. We're not putting any more money into you creating music.
But you can't go anywhere else.
And you can't go anywhere else
until you give us 5.
Until you give us 5.
Or you buy yourself out of the contract.
So that's how a lot of artists ended up just disappearing. They would have their first album would be hot as shit. Second album would be lackluster. They would disappear and make no more music anywhere because contractually they're not allowed to.
That's almost, wait. So what did Lil Wayne do?
A lot of scissor.
No, besides that, like when he was fighting with Baby, not Birdman.
He couldn't make any music.
So, but he was still like making music though.
You can do mixtapes because, well, that's kind of new age. Like I'm talking back 90s, early 2000s, but I believe you can do mixtapes. I don't know for a fact, but
because he was putting music out.
He wasn't putting albums out though.
No, he wasn't. I don't think it was albums, but if I am recalling correctly, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And as far as this whole music thing, I could very well be wrong because, I don't follow hip hop. I really don't follow R&B. What I hear is stop fixing the fucking shirt.
Don't hate. Buy one.
Anyway, I might just so I can fix it.
That's right.
Like I said, I don't follow a lot of music. I'm a reader. Sue me.
I thought you were about to say you're a retard.
No, that would be you.
So
anyway, but I thought that he was like putting music out on YouTube and he was like putting music out on he was like doing concerts, was he not? During this time? He what?
He wasn't doing jack shit. Now, this is me speculating because I don't follow Wayne too much, but I know he was doing features on other songs, and those features might have been okayed like a year ago. Like if me and you say, okay, we're going to do a song, we go record the song. My label says, okay, yep, this is good. Your label says, okay, yep, this is good. Doesn't mean we have to release it right now. So I don't know about Wayne. Okay. All I know is he wasn't able to put out an album. The Carter 4, 5, 6, whatever, one of them albums that he was working on had been shelved. And by the time it actually came out, after they settled whatever, it sounded dated as fuck because it was a couple years old.
Right.
So anyway, your second album comes out, 300,000. We're going to shelf you. You can't make any more music. You can't go anywhere.
So like you said, you just faded to the ether.
Right.
Basically.
So now, being that we're Black Law and Legalized Records, though, we need to have more than one artist.
Right.
So let's say we have 15 artists, right? Mm-hmm. 2 of them are multi-platinum selling artists.
Super hot.
Yeah.
Right.
We got a Cardi B and we got a Drake, okay?
Okay.
So we are going to continue putting big money behind you.
Right.
Now, the Lil Mike and the Shooters, they
on the shelf.
They on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Brother Wisdom dropping knowledge, he on the shelf, and they can't do anything else.
Right.
So now we're making all of our money off of Drake and Cardi, right?
Right.
So we have no interest in you whatsoever. So what the 360 deal does is
it stops you from doing everything, though.
No, I can make money now. We all can make money now. That's why, see, the 360 has a negative connotation. But if you're not selling music, and in these days, nobody's selling music. You got all these streaming services. You got YouTube. You got all this other shit.
But they're making money from endorsements.
Touring, merchandise.
videos and movies, TVs,
right, all
guest
of that.
appearances.
So
right.
with the 360 now, we got our Drake and our Cardi. We're making money off of them as far as musically. Now we're making money off of them from appearances, movies, you name it. But
so now we're not making money off their voice per se. We're making money off the whole body.
Right.
Off their image.
Yes.
So with that being said, now we still have these other 13 artists. We're going to put their ass on the road.
Right. I was about to say we about to pimp them out because now you need to go and make mama some money.
Exactly. So now when Cardi has her world tour, who's on the undercard? You know, who's the opening act? So y'all going to get paid. Y'all going to get paid pennies basically, but y'all going to get paid. We're going to get paid. And
you're willing to do it because some money in my pocket.
Better than none.
None.
And better than sitting on the shelf. So each of these artists, some of these obscure artists that nobody really knows, or like as far as en masse, they do have cult followings, whether it be 1,500 people or whatever. You know, these 1,500 diehard fans are going to come out to these concerts, buy your merchandise, buy your shirts, buy your whatever you're selling. Labels getting a cut of that. So, you know, 360, it does sound like a bad deal at first. If you're a Cardi or if you're a Drake, or 360 might not necessarily be for you.
Well, let me break in right here. And you said if you're a Cardi or a Drake. If you are a Cardi before you were a Cardi though. And that's the thing. I know that 360s, you said get a bad rap. But you think about it, there's good and bad to this whole thing as far as a 360 contract is concerned. Because initially, you know, before Cardi B was Cardi B, somebody took a chance. And it wasn't her money that she was playing with. So if I'm going to take a shot, if I'm going to gamble on you actually making me money, I'm fronting this money. So if her album would have bombed, I still need to recoup my cash some kind of way. So, you know, from a record company's perspective, it's a way to safeguard my investment.
Right. And a lot of the older statesmen in hip hop, they still hate this whole 360 to their credit too. Like I said, we can record Black Law and Legalized Records, y'all. We can record right here in this dining room, put out a full length album. We can put the shit on TuneCore, Sound, wherever. We can put it on Apple Music. We can do all of that shit without a label. And that's what the older artists are saying is, y'all little niggas don't need labels no more. Because back in our day, the labels funded the music.
Right.
Nowadays, you don't need anyone to fund your music. You got your studio in your dining room. You got the internet. That's all you need.
Right. But see, if you think about that, though, you actually need to do the groundwork. You're the one that's out there advertising. You're the one that's out there merchandising. You're the one that's out there actually putting your music out. If you don't want to do that, you go to a record company. You let them be.
Not these days, though, because these days a record company is not touching you unless you're hot before you get to them. So let's look at the Cash Me Outside girl. That bitch was on Dr. Phil. How about that? Catch Me Outside. How about that? That's all she ever did. She got a fucking record deal with Atlantic. A record deal.
Well, you think about it. Cardi B did the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, Cardi B did the exact same thing. You on Hip Hop Atlanta, wasn't it? Love and Hip Hop. She was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, just acting stupid. And she got a record deal because she was acting stupid on Love and Hip Hop.
Her music is actually pretty good
I like Cardi B. Even though I said I don't follow hip hop, I don't follow music. I don't, but I like Cardi B. So
So with that being said, the Catch Me Outside girl, she had no music, not known for music, but because of the 360 deal, bitch, you ain't got to sell music. You're signed to a
you're
record
selling yourself.
right. You signed to a record label, but we know that Chanel West Coast, the white girl from that MTV Rob Dyrdek or whatever. I don't keep up with pop culture, current shit, but some white girl who thinks she's a rapper and thinks she's like just hot shit and she's not. 360. You on TV now. You're like some dude's sidekick on an MTV TV show. We're going to get money.
All right, wait. Did we ever say what a 360 contract was? I don't think you started talking about it, but I don't think you said.
Okay, you're right.
You spelled out what a 360 is.
So, in a nutshell, what a 360 is it's referred to as a multiple rights deal. Meaning, we have rights to multiple
aspects of
revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you sign this 360 deal, you're agreeing that the label will fund your music. You will also give up a percentage of your music sold, streaming revenue basically. You will give up a percentage of your merchandise, your touring. If you get casted to be in a movie, you'll give up a percentage of whatever you get paid for in that movie.
If you write a book.
Yep, that too. If somebody else writes a book about you and you okay it.
Right. Well, right. If you're getting any percentage of somebody else could be writing it about you, but you get a royalty.
Right.
They want a percentage of your percentage because you can get 2%. They probably want one of those 2%.
So essentially, you're like marrying this record company.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But you decide instead of, in the state of Louisiana, we have what's called community property. It's 50-50. In a 360 deal, if you have a good lawyer and you're smart about it, you decide what percentages of whatever the record company is going to touch. And if you're super smart, Dan just mentioned something and that clicked in my head, that a record company is not going to touch you unless you have some sort of popularity. Well, if you already have an online presence, that you already have like 300,000 YouTube followers or Facebook followers or Instagram followers. I don't know what like an influencer, like how many people do you have to be considered an influencer? What are we looking at?
Probably 80K plus.
All right. So you have enough to actually say that you're an influencer and you have this following. If you do a 360 deal, you can carve out what you already have. Like if you're going into this thing and you already have
kind of like a prenup.
Pretty much. This remains mine.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. Like I said, if you're smart and you have a good lawyer, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you are already large or huge in, you can keep that for yourself.
Right. So if people are following you on Instagram, let's say you're a makeup person, you make and sell your own makeup, you do your little beauty videos. That's like one of the bigger followings.
Mm-hmm.
And then you decide, I want to make music. I want to sign to a label. You sign a 360 deal. You can say, yo, my makeup shit is off limits, son, because that's all me right there.
Right.
But then the label's going to tell you, go fuck yourself. But honestly, though, from just what I know, which is not a whole lot, is I do believe you can make more money if you're already established, if you're already an influencer, especially a big time influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a lot more money than having a label back you these days.
Well, from what I've seen, not knowing, not even, as you said, in just talking about 360s, but in general, yes, it's like, why would you want somebody else to take a piece of your pie when you're already, but I would assume, you think about it, most people do it because they want to be a super influencer. maybe you have 100,000 followers, but if you get with this label,
you'll get more.
Right, you'll have more. So that could be and then something that I read though about going back to 360 contracts and record labels, where record labels get you, and something to watch out for, and this for people, I don't know if y'all are out there listening and y'all are actually interested in this whole 360 thing, you were contemplating something like that. Watch out for something called cross collateralization. And basically what that is this. Dan mentioned 5 record deals and selling a certain amount. So what labels put in 360s as far as cross collateralization goes, what they will do is say that you need to sell a certain amount of records, right? And so say the label pays like $100,000 for recording costs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And of course, you're going to get royalties only after the record company recoups their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, say there's a cross collateralization clause in your 360. So your record, instead of doing 100,000, well, say you only sell 100,000 albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
So albums cost how much? So let's say they cost like $12 or whatever. Let's throw something out there. So in order to break even, you have to sell 200,000 albums. Say you only sell 100,000. All right. Well, you have some merchandising, or you go on tour and you make 50,000 from the tour. If there's a cross collateralization clause, that $50,000, instead of being paid to you, would go toward the deficit
of your lost album sales.
The album sales. So that's definitely something that's like a gotcha that's in a lot of these contracts, and you're thinking to yourself, "Ooh, I just made this money; it's going in my pocket." But
yeah, and they also have they're not. I don't think they're spoken about much or even referenced in this nature, but they have what are called 270 contracts, 180 contracts. So the 360, I believe, is damn near all streams of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
The 270 might be 3 or 4 streams of your revenue.
Mm-hmm.
The 180 is going to be 2 streams of your revenue.
Right.
So going back to talking about the influencer who's making money already with online videos and products, they would probably be looking at more of a 180 deal, which is 2 streams of revenue, because you aren't touching the revenue I already have.
I already have endorsements. I already have endorsement deals. So maybe you can get me some other endorsement deals, but you're not about to touch these endorsements I already have.
Mm-hmm.
You're not about to touch the money from that. But once again, most people get caught up and they get so excited, they don't realize something else. Another gotcha that you have to watch out for. Most of these 360s actually talk about gross income versus net income. And you don't want it to be gross income.
Right.
You want it to be net income. Because, 20% of your gross and 20% of your net, it's a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
So
the contract that we have a copy of is net.
It's
your
net.
But before we get into that particular contract, some of the things ancillary. What are ancillary activities?
What we said about because music is your main thing.
Mm-hmm.
So endorsements, those are ancillary. Not really, because touring is about the music. Anything outside of the music would be
guest appearances on like a talk show,
right?
And you don't perform,
or the books,
right?
Writing a book.
Okay.
So that would be maybe even producing.
Mm-hmm.
if you producing some stuff, that may be ancillary to.
Yo, so what if you, now this is just me thinking out loud here. Okay, you signed a 360, but then you decide you're going to start your own record label. Because, like, let's look at Lil Wayne. He was on Cash Money Records. He started Young Money Records. So I guess Cash Money, if Wayne was in a 360, Cash Money would be entitled to a percentage of Young Money.
Right? Because if you think about it, if I'm entitled to a percentage of your production, and I'm entitled to anything that you use your name to endorse, are you not endorsing Young Money?
I'd be like, look, I'm starting Young Money Records, but don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them like that, y'all.
You know, are you not? And then you're probably writing music for the artist in Young Money. So once again, I got a percentage of your publishing.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and okay, I got the contract up now, but here's real quick how a lot of artists can beat the system as far as the whole percentages, right? Actually, there was, I had a list of percentages, like just typical percentages. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I know merchandise was what, like 25% or something like that?
Well, I have one that's is supposed to be standard, because I was looking, and this actually comes from an attorney.
I got 22% on
merch. I have 50%.
T-shirts.
So I have like 50% on merchandising, 25% on touring and live performances, 25% of digital products. And that's like ringtones. So I strike a deal with Apple for some ringtones. They getting 25% from that, 25% from publishing, 25% endorsements, and 25% of anything else included in the entertainment business. So book publishing, TV appearances, movie deals. You write a theme song for a movie. It's like, so yeah, they pretty much own your ass.
Yep. I got what I'm seeing here, and this is from TuneCore, so it's probably for smaller artists rather than big name artists. Is 22% of net retail for t-shirts, net receipts for t-shirts, 20% of net retail receipts for hoodies and sweatshirts, 15% of net retail receipts for headwear and other items, hats pretty much, direct to consumer sales, 25% of all net receipts.
Direct to consumer, so like you set up a website.
Or you do what I was going to say is you're at your concert, you're at tour, and you set up a table and you got your t-shirts there and you're like, yo, support a brother, whatever. Your label gets 25% of that. So, and here's the thing, your label might not have even put any money into that. Just because they put money into you, period, like shit you do on the side. But one way around it is same way Colorado does weed, which is cash only. So don't come up here trying to buy my damn t-shirts with no motherfucking credit card, with no PayPal, with no Cash App. Nigga, we doing cash only. I got 1,000 t-shirts. By the time it gets back to my label, as far as how many I sold, I only sold 10 t-shirts. When in reality, I sold 1,000 t-shirts. So that's one way around it. But I'm sure there's fail safes too on the label side for activity like that. So some of the definitions, I got the contract right here. Some of the definitions as far as the 360 agreement for record sales, brand rights, and merchandise. Let's define some words.
It's vocabulary.
Yes. Act. That means the copyright, designs, and patent. And album. That means the masters, sufficient and suitable to comprise of a physical carrier of sound recordings of not less than 45 minutes playing time when played at the correct speed and not less than 12 tracks.
That dude said when played at the correct speed.
Now,
Like, don't speed them up. Don't
let's
slow them
think
down.
about this, though. Kanye West last year started doing 7-song, 30-minute albums.
That's correct.
Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but if in their
industry standard would not be 7-song, 30-minute album. Right.
So, everyone was giving Kanye shit for that. Like, come on, man, seven songs, that ain't no whole album. But maybe it was something to kind of beat the system a little bit. So, let's see what else. Controlled compositions, that just means any title, including its words and the music, written or composed in whole or part by you and any title owner of, or controlled directly or indirectly in whole or in part by you or any company furnishing your services and or any entity affiliated with one person or more that has direct interest. Yeah, that got too wordy. Delivery, that means the physical delivery to an acceptance in writing by a director of all the delivery materials. The verb deliver in all conjugations and tenses is constructed accordingly. In the event that you have not received any notification from us that the delivery materials have not been delivered within 14 working days of the physical delivery thereof in accordance with, this shit sounds too legal for me. I just want to get to the real good one. Let's see, film, yeah. Master means a fully mixed, edited, 2-track stereophonic digital recording.
Why are we doing vocabulary?
Because I just want to get to the good one and also to help people understand what some of these terms are.
All right, good one. Well, go skip to the good one. The one that you think is good.
Well, here's one you mentioned, net profits. That means gross earnings exclusive of sales and taxes and similar taxes arising directly, solely, and identifiably from any and all exploitation of the recording and films as received by us in the United States, less any and all costs, fees, expenses, and monies paid by us pursuant to the agreement, including without limitation to the following. And then it goes on with the whole
wait.
So basically,
let me before I lose my train of thought. That's good. Did you read that it said in the United States? So that does not include gross receipts from international sales. I get to keep those. Because it said United States. It didn't say internationally.
I guess so. A single. This is something that blew my mind. When you hear the word single, what do you think?
One song.
Becky?
Same thing. One song.
Single means a physical record containing not more than 4 tracks.
Oh.
So here's my favorite word. Territory.
Yeah.
This is literally in the contract. Territory means the world and the solar system.
Oh.
That is in the contract. The world and the solar system. So all you niggas like, what's homeboy name? Astro, whatever. Travis Scott, nigga, you ain't going to Mars to sell no records. Shit, nigga, you gonna sell your records on Jupiter? We still getting our 25%.
We want monies.
So, any thoughts so far?
I already said.
I just wanted to kind of break down net, what that definition meant.
Net profit.
Yeah. So basically, you take what you earned less your expenses and taxes, and that is your net. And then they take a cut of that.
Right. Right. And believe it or not, that's a good thing. Because as we said earlier, you don't want them taking a percentage of your gross. Because if they did that, you would get less money or no money in the long run.
Right.
So here's one too, advances. Now that's something that you heard a lot of, especially in the 90s and 2000s. So just in this particular contract, advances, company agrees to pay artists the amount of X amount of dollars as an advance as follows: 1/2 within X amount of days of execution of this agreement, and 1/2 upon delivery of the album recorded during the initial period of this agreement. Drafting note. In general, advances are a recoupable amount of money that the label gives the artist to spend as they please, e.g. on living cost, equipment, leisure, etc. Labels should customize these to reflect what they intend to give the artist as advances, or get rid of the clause altogether in case there is no advance mode available by the label. Man, so if I'm giving you an advance of $100K, well, I don't even know what a typical advance is today. Let's say $250. That sounds reasonable for a recording artist. I'm gonna give you $250 as an advance. So after you sign this piece of paper, within 7 days in your bank account, you'll have $125. You bring me a completed product, you drop it off on my desk. Within 7 days of that, you'll get another $125. So right now you're $250 in the hole, and that's just spending money. You can do whatever you want with that money for the most part. Now, your album hits these streets.
And it don't make no money.
And your album makes $175,000, point blank, period, nothing more. Now you owe
trouble.
the label
You're in trouble.
Not only the $75,000 from the advance, you also owe the label whatever they invested into your into the production of your project, because that's not part of your advance. So let's say they spent another $250 on your project. You're $500 in the hole. You made $175. Right now you owe your label $325,000. And you are not making another dime off of this album.
Right.
So now, nigga, you best to get your iron and start making them press on t-shirts and doing love. And that's like one of the things I didn't understand with one of my favorite rappers, Joe Budden. I remember when I looked up years ago and he was on Love and Hip Hop. And I said,
why?
That don't even seem like Joe. And he's tarnishing.
He was trying to make some money.
Yeah, obviously. But I'm like, he's tarnishing his, because not everyone views him the way I view him. But I'm like, he's tarnishing his legacy as a hip hop artist, lyricist, to doing this goofball shit. But I mean, hey, who knows what kind of financial situation he was in. And also, hey, if you got to pay your label back, man, and your album's not selling, you need to do something.
You gotta hustle.
Damn straight.
Yeah. So would I sign the company owns your artwork?
Would you sign a 360, my boy?
They own your masters.
They own and that's the crazy thing. And if
video rights,
right, if you are an artist and you desperately want your name to get out there, your music to get out there, and you don't have the wherewithal, and you don't have, but see, you mentioned something earlier. Artists today, they have a lot of gumption. You know, they have like, I'm a hustle and get the shit out. And especially with the technology that we have today, getting it done, putting it out there. If I have to be on the street corner selling the mess, you know, if I have to get like social media influencers, if I have to pay them, they get out and get it. But not everybody is like that. And not everybody can do that. So if you want to get yourself out there, you are going to sign a contract like this because you're thinking to yourself, this is my shot. I'm going to make them money and make myself money in the end. But that's where a lot of artists get screwed because they don't scrutinize and let me tell you, words,
they mean stuff.
Yes, they have power, especially something that is written and you sign your name to it. And some people think, okay, if it doesn't work out, I ain't got nothing. They can't take nothing. But it's like, what if? You know, you have to think about, so for the rest of your life, this thing follows you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Is like when you look at a lot of these new upcoming, I only kind of really know hip hop. I don't follow rock and roll. That's my favorite music to listen to, but I don't follow the industry or anything like that. But when you look at hip hop, you have okay. I want y'all just to vocally give me confirmation if you know who these people are or have heard of these people that I'm naming. Lil Yachty.
I have heard. That name sounds familiar.
Tekashi. Chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Migos.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Young Thug.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Xan.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Lil Pump.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Blueface.
No.
I know the people who are in Vegas and
The Blue Man
No,
Group.
not the Blue Man. Not the Blue Man Group. Schoolboy Q.
No.
Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of those people that I just named, other than Kendrick and Schoolboy Q and a couple of others, most of them are young. We're talking 18, 19, maybe 20. So that's like these record labels target demographic. It's people who don't have shit. They're young and dumb.
And they just want the chance to get out of where they are.
Right. And it's you try that shit, like half of the shit that they put in these contracts these days, and of course I don't have an official contract in front of me, like a active artist contract, but I'm pretty sure you probably can't pull that shit off with a 25, 26, 27, 28-year-old artist. And even going back to the Temptations, and even before then, everyone in the record business gets
They got
fucked.
screwed. Well, see, one thing that is something I have to respect about a Michael Jackson and a Prince.
Wait, that he touched little boys?
No.
Okay.
The fact that a lot of artists, like, say like an Elton John, maybe not his earlier music, but at a certain point, he owned his music.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so when artists actually woke up and realized, nah, this is where the record company was actually making money, owning the masters.
Mm-hmm.
So they own their own music. So that I have to respect. But nowadays, you said this demographic, these 18, 19 years olds, they probably don't own their own music.
Fuck no. And guess what? They probably wouldn't want to because it all sucks. It's not, there's no, like from 20, like these guys are named like Lil Xan and, you know, all these, like in 5 years, you remember the song Laffy Taffy?
Laffy Taffy.
Okay, tell me the name of the group who made it.
I have no freaking clue.
Becky?
I don't know.
Exactly. So it's like, who cares if you own Laffy Taffy? That shit ain't worth a motherfucking thing. And then you probably got to pay the candy company some money too, because you done
use their name.
Shit.
That was copyrighted, right?
And speaking of copyrights, right? I want to jump off of this shit because, I mean, if you really want in depth look at this shit, you're gonna have to go somewhere else because this ain't really our forte. But we did say we wanted to discuss it. LeBron James. Tried to trademark Taco Tuesday.
Come on.
Yeah, he did.
My nigga.
That was the funniest shit I ever read this year. Yes. Yes.
He has to have all of these people, these wealthy people. I like LeBron too, but all of these wealthy people They need somebody. I don't care what color you are. You need that one person on your staff, in your team,
That's
that just says this, my nigga. That's it. Cause niggas been saying Taco Tuesday since
forever.
Yeah. Well,
since
and
forever.
LeBron was probably sitting at home one night. It's like, well, I have an idea. I'm gonna trademark Taco Tuesday. Just like Cardi with the Kerr shit and like the trademark officer, get that shit out of here, man. Like, that's funny. So anyway, trademarking.
Right.
A trademark and a copyright are we did discuss this in the prior episode, but to rehash it, they're two completely different things.
Pretty much.
Explain the difference again for the listeners.
All right. So trademark is basically some emblem, picture, reference, something like let's say
a phrase
could be, say, Chuck Taylor. What's his trademark copyright? Or let's say Nike. All right. Nike has a trademark.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what it is?
It's the swoosh.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a copyright is basically the words, the right to, and it doesn't really have to be formal. Like, you don't have to go to the U.S. Patent Office and write out an application in order to have something be copyrighted.
Mm-hmm.
In order to have something trademarked, though, there is something that you have to formalize. You have to go through the U.S. Patent Office to get a trademark. Because the copyright, once you put it out in the atmosphere, literally, and you can prove that it's yours and only yours, you have a copyright on that. And that's something that you can protect.
And that's we in that same episode, maybe episode 43-ish, we talked about the whole who that.
Mm-hmm.
Now the people in New Orleans were selling T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the league was like, we're gonna trademark.
They wanted to trademark, right?
Who that? And they're like, nah, nigga, those common terms that's been actually they had that one dude, my nigga.
He said, yeah.
So anyway, I guess that really wraps everything up. Anybody, anything else? Afro Becky, you've been kind of silent over there today.
That's something else. When I talk about actually reading things that we sign and or putting trust in somebody that we know they are looking out for our better interest.
No such thing.
You're the only person that can look out for you. But what do you do when you're 19 years old and you have a 25, 30-page contract and you need to put trust in someone?
Honestly, as we've said many a times, you need an attorney, but not all attorneys are created equal.
True.
And at 19 years old, you're probably not aware of that. Like, all right, let's look at. I want to kind of jump to the left real quick. Let's look at accountings, money management firms, and things like that. Right? Mm-hmm. You have these athletes that make hundreds of millions of dollars. These athletes do not manage their own money. They have way too much money. And then way too much money to manage, but then they have very little time to actually get down to the nitty gritty as far as money management. They're practicing appearances, games. So,
which is why a lot of them wind up suing their money managers because they have mismanaged their money.
You look at Mike Tyson comes to mind. He made over $300 million in his career. Went broke. More recent case, Adrian Peterson, running back for the Redskins now. He went broke. Clinton Portis, another running back for the Redskins. Don't be a running back for the Redskins.
Or you are going to go broke.
Well, I mean, you can liken that to the music industry too.
MC Hammer,
Tony Braxton.
Hammer did it to himself though.
Well, true, because he paid everybody was on the payroll. True, but still, if he had somebody that he trusted to actually say
he did, he did. He had 2 financial advisors that said these dancers, because they was like full-time, it wasn't just on tour, they were like full-time MC Hammer employees. Dude was like, they got to go. Nah, those my people. Bums in the bum, bums in. Those my people. So he didn't take the advice of
well, see, as a lesson, take the advice of people that you trust. But I said all that to say, Becky talked about Taylor Swift and her label being sold to another label, correct?
Who is whoever bought it, the guy who bought it is Scooter Braun, who is also the person that manages Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, and a couple of other big name artists.
Right. That's something else that you need to, that's another gotcha in contracts like these. Being able to unilaterally sell your music to someone else. So, in these contracts, there are clauses that gives the label the right to pass you on unilaterally. So, you literally have no say. They can assign you to some other label or some other company. So you want to watch, and that's honestly not just in contracts like these, but contracts in general.
Here's one. Our mortgage. We signed a contract with a mortgage company, and within a year,
it was sold.
We got a notice in the mail saying, yeah, nigga, we own your mortgage now, so you're going to be paying us instead of who you was paying. We had no say in that. And, I kind of thought, too, I'm like, well, then what the fuck was the purpose of even going with mortgage lender A in the first place if all y'all going to do is sell it? But
then that's what a lot of mortgage companies do.
Yeah, they offload their, because I'm thinking in sports terms now. Okay, we got, give me at LeBron James. He's worth all this money, right? So the Lakers, they want to get rid of him. They're going to trade him. But in that trade, we're also going to toss in the dude that sits at the end of the bench that nobody knows, because we're going to unload some more of our debt along with LeBron, because we know you want LeBron, but in order to get him, you're going to take some more of this debt off our hands.
Yeah, but see, for financial institutions, mortgage lenders, it's the value of the dollar today, because you give me what this thing is worth right now, you take it, do whatever you want with it, but I have that money in hand right now and I can flip it. So
loan it out again.
Right. Yeah. For them, it's worth more having the cash in hand than having your pennies every month. So
that's what I always say. Cash in hand, motherfuckers.
But that's like I said, that's a little slippery something that a lot of contracts have. The right of the person who has created the contract to unilaterally do things like assign stuff.
But why can't you do that? I mean, if they, like, in my mind, I think contracts should be equal. They should be 50-50. Both
they're
people
not.
Are, yeah, of course not.
Because you want what I'm giving you.
Right.
I don't necessarily need you, because guess what? You're a dime a dozen. I can find another you.
Shit, you ain't finding no another me.
Can you find another me?
You ain't finding no another me. I'm David Ruffin.
I hold the cards. So if I hold the cards, I'm going to slip in as many clauses that's beneficial for me, and me being able to kick you out of my company anytime I want to. is so much beneficial to me because guess what? Just like you talked about trading, I can trade you for a better artist.
Yeah, of course. But I still think ideally contracts should be equally beneficial. They never are, but they should be.
And I still think that you should get the same sentence for crack as you do for cocaine. And I still think that black people should rule the world, but we don't.
Well, the same sentence for crack and cocaine, you can't, because the sentence for crack is ew. Period. The same sentence for coke is, hey, can you meet me in the parking lot? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies. And disclaimer, we never know what the fuck we're talking about.
Nope.
So,
not a clue.
Whatever. But you can also follow us on Twitter because we don't know what we're talking about on there either. And all the social media platforms at Black Law Podcast. Please, if you can, review us. I mean, really, we don't give a shit at this point because
Apple hates us.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm one of your hosts, Dan, a.k.a. Dan on Drugs. You can find me on Twitter and IG at I am Dan on Drugs.
I am Afro Becky, and you can't follow me
anywhere. And I'm just Dan. You can follow me at I Tell Legal Lies on Twitter.
Man, and before we wrap up, funny story, so Afro Jesus. Becky come running up on me today with no pants on, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Did you hit stop recording?
No.
Why not?
Because we talked about Dan's nuts in a former episode.
I didn't give him permission to talk about me.
Content.
He was talking about him.
I'm producing content.
He was talking about him.
Content here. Yeah, ran up on me with no pants on. That shit scared me though, because I'm like, I'm walking to the bathroom to take a shower, and she come running up, ass out. I'm like, whoa, where's your pants? I don't need any.
Wait, not even.
Psst, you heard her tell me stop the tape?
That does
Do I
not
need to go further?
That does not mean that what you're saying is true.
Well, of course she ain't gonna admit to it now. That it's all
that does not mean that what you're saying is true.
I don't need any.
Wait, just like
in that voice. It scared me because she came running. It wasn't no walk up trying to be smooth. She came. I'm about to make the turn in the bathroom, and she come, and I'm like, all I saw was ass, and I'm like, what the fuck going on? And she was like, I was like, where your pants at? I don't need any.
What is the point of this story?
There's no point. It's just a story.
That's the end of the story.
Point. Would you like to refute the story?
What I'm trying to figure out is, was she trying to jump in the shower with you?
Nope.
Or was it, she just needed to beat you in the bathroom because she had to use it?
Nope. We got multiple bathrooms.
So she just wanted to flash her ass?
Yep.
I don't believe you.
Becky, defend yourself. She over there like, I don't think I can, but
I don't believe you.
I had underwear on, so my ass was just not out.
He did say no pants. He didn't say no panties. Yeah. Man, look, I defended you, man.
Well, look, I'm in my freaking house. What? I can go anywhere in my house, dressed however I want to be dressed,
or undressed however you want to be undressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, but that shit will startle you. Just when someone come, like, I don't care where I'm at.
Number one, I was not running.
Oh, you was running.
I was not.
It was kind of like a glide. She was like gliding, and I was like, and all I saw was ass coming at me, and I'm like, I don't know.
Wait, so I was running towards you?
Yeah.
And you saw ass?
Yeah, because when you walk, your ass switches from side to side, and it was just flopping, going. And I'm just like,
why it was making that sound?
Yeah,
it hypnotized.
Hypnotized, and I'm just like, my eyes was going.
It was like ping pong.
Yeah, it was like deer in the headlights, deer in
tennis.
And one of my biggest fears is
hitting a deer.
No, when somebody kills me, because I do believe that somebody's going to eventually
die.
Someone with no pants on is going to kill me.
Is that your biggest fear?
That's one of my biggest fears.
You think about that all the time, like
yes.
a pantless person.
Yep.
Killing you.
Yes.
So why does it matter if you're dead? Why does it matter that they have no pants?
Ask them. I just know that whenever someone murders me, they will not be wearing pants. And then when I see that,
so basically what you're saying is
that I was going to murder you?
I didn't know what to think.
So this is what I'm getting from that. Beck is going to be so pissed off at your performance that she go jump up and murder your ass.
Hell no.
That's
Becky
what
can never be
that's what it sounds like
at my performance.
Because you said somebody with no pants is going to murder you.
Right.
And the only situation that can happen is post-coitus. So
that ain't what happened this morning. I was going to the bathroom.
Nah, but she wasn't trying to murder you either.
I was going to the bathroom.
No.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry for this sidebar here. However, it will never be because of my performance because she be sleep afterwards and I go play video games. Peace out.